Coming up on tonight's episode of Don't Panic, we're going to talk a ton of tech news because we're back. That includes Snapchat net neutrality, PlayStation View, news from YouTube, Microsoft, Samsung, and Doritos-flavored Mountain Dew. Yes, it is a bro-filled episode of Don't Panic. You're going to want to stick around because it comes up right now. This is Don't Panic, episode number 70, recorded on November 17th, 2014. On the PS View, Snapcash, and YouTube's Music Key. Hello, everybody, and welcome to an exciting edition of Don't Panic, the technology podcast that's part of a complete balanced breakfast. I'm your host, Sean Jennings, and I am joined by the Captain Crunch and Count Chocula of technology. They never go soggy in milk. Ladies and gentlemen, Dan Miller and Colby Rabideau. Gentlemen, what's going on?
Not too much. I just got back from Arizona yesterday.
Yeah, so I want to complain about, you can tell us about Arizona, but I want to complain about something because I'm on the internet and I see, Colby Rabideau hanging out in the desert with turtles, getting some sun, that
was a huge turtle.
Dan Miller goes to Florida, he's soaking in the rays, riding the jet skis with the dolphins, right? And guess where Sean Jennings gets to go this week? Well, he goes, no, I actually am traveling this week. I get to go to sunny, beautiful Chicago, Illinois.
Hey, Chicago's a great place.
It is. I went to Chicago last fall, and it was a lot of fun.
The problem is, it's for a conference at the airport Hilton, so I don't even get to see Chicago. I know!
No.
I know. This is my luck. But anyway, Colby, you were saying about Arizona.
You got to go to... I think it's called, I don't know, you got to go to one of the places and have the hot dog because it's really, it's legitimate.
That's the best travel advice. When you're in Arizona, go to some place and get the hot dog.
No, not Arizona, when you're in Chicago.
Oh, get a Chicago dog, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the pizza was good, but overwhelming. The hot dog.
I've never been a deep dish guy.
Yeah. Arizona was fun, though. It was nice. And then I came back and it's fucking cold as hell and raining. But yeah, it was cool. We went to the zoo and saw a giant turtle, and I also fed a giraffe.
Wow! Look at you.
Yeah,
that's exciting. So
that happened.
Well, good. I'm happy we can return and be back. We missed last week, sadly, but we're back this week.
We made it.
I know, and
photographic evidence.
And poor Dan, he has his flight in the evening, and I'm like, Dan, we don't have to rush, we just won't do the show, so you don't have to rush and get late, because I'm assuming that every airline ever gets delayed or whatever. And no, Dan's texting me at 9:45. Oh no, totally could have done it. All right.
That's because JFK is such a beautiful, beautiful place.
Mm.
I mean, it kind of feels like you're in the third world, but in terms of utility.
It's efficient.
It like much of New York City, it is efficient, if not beautiful.
Oh, that is great. Well, we're here to do technology news. We do it every Monday night, 10 p.m. Eastern, at our website, don'tpanic.io. You get the live stream there. You also get all our past episodes, audio and video, and subscribe. The links are on the website, don'tpanic.io. And I want to tease something else, gentlemen. I know. Okay. I forgot to grab them. I was cleaning out all my stuff, and I came across some Don't Panic stickers I had ordered.
Stickers?
That I had totally forgot to give away on the show.
Whoa.
So, good news is we have stickers to give away, and I've got Don't Panic stickers. I've got Change Mode stickers. We've got a whole bunch of stickers. So, we're going to
Can I have a change mode sticker? I want to put it on my laptop.
Colby,
then people will be like, what is change mode?
I'm going to tell you how you can get some stickers. Are you ready? It's really easy.
Damn it.
And you guys have to do it too. I'm not giving them to you unless you do it. So everyone out there, if you want, I will mail you at the cost of a stamp some stickers, a whole bunch of stickers. All you have to do is go on Twitter and tweet about how you're a fan of the show. And the requirements are in the tweet. You have to include @Don't Panic Show, and you have to include don'tpanic.io. Whatever else you say in there, keep it positive, please. Say you like the show. But otherwise, as long as you include those two things, and you're one of the first, I think I have 20 packs of stickers to mail out. As long as you're in those first 20, you will get I will contact you for your address, and you will get a sticker pack. So that's @Don't Panic Show, and don'tpanic.io is the URL. That's it. And just tweet how you're a fan of the show, you like the show, if you encourage your friends to listen, and that'd be great. So get some stickers. And you two have to do it too.
I'm working on it.
I'm talking to you.
All right.
We don't have to do it right now, but that's okay. So tweet. Let's jump into the news. Gentlemen, any particular place you would like to start? We've got a lot of news. Although Dan seemed underwhelmed.
I was underwhelmed. If you want to get me riled up, we can talk about the Snapcash thing.
I'm excited about Snapcash. So let's talk. This was news today, actually. Rather timely of us. We've been wondering now, what is Snapchat going to do next, right? They've kind of done well in the messaging sphere, but what's kind of their next act? Well, they kind of quickly and quietly launched a new thing called Snapcash, which is a service in Snapchat where you can send money to your friends. It's, interestingly enough, powered by Square, who you may know as the payments company that we've talked about on the show in Successes and Struggles. The service is available in the U.S. for users 18 and over. There's an app update that's forthcoming. You can't do it yet. And it works really easily. So if you're familiar with Snapchat, the actual chat part of Snapchat where you can type in messages, not just take pictures, when you send a friend a message, if you just send a $ amount, it automatically knows you're sending the money and does it automatically. So if I sent Colby a message that was $10, it would send him $10. Now, at this point would have had to have given Snapchat information on my debit account. Colby would have had to have done the same, and it will just transfer the money between us. I am going to quickly look up... oh, here it is. So I'm going to play you guys a quick video. I don't know if you've seen this. You guys will have to hear it, but those of you at home will get to see it. And this is a video they published introducing Snapcash.
This is perfect for Mom.
Yes.
It's $30. I'll get it. Will you send me 15?
Yeah, totally.
And here she is typing in $15.
Snapchat has Snapcash. Just use your cash tags. Send money easy. It's oh so breezy. Snapcash with Snapchat. Chat your cash amount straight from your bank account. Send money easy. It's fast and breezy. Snapchat.
And they do a whole musical number around Snapcash.
All right, show's over.
Damn, the look on your face was so good. Just the, hand and head. Just no good.
Face palm.
Yeah, exactly. So there you go. Snapcash coming to a thing near you. Now, would you like me to tell you why I think this is exciting and or a good idea?
No, I want to first, before we even get to Snapchat.
Analysis, yes.
Snapchat as a brand doesn't seem like something I'd want to trust my debit card with. They don't. It's not technologically that's not good, but I just don't get the impression that I should give them something that they can personal identifiable information.
So I read one article on this online that seemed to suggest that Square would be storing your payment information and not Snapchat.
So it's
Square powers the whole thing.
Square powers the whole thing?
The entire back end is all Square.
Huh.
Also, yep. I tried to do it. I tried to send Sean money, and I couldn't figure out how.
Yeah, you have to wait for an app update because you have to they have to update it so you can put in your credit card information and all that. This is similar, if you remember, Square's Cash app, where you could send money using Square. It's similar.
Yeah, I mean, it's also like Venmo or PayPal. Or, wait, yeah.
And the Gmail.
Gmail, you can do it in Gmail?
Yeah, Google.
Remember? Yeah, you can send money in Gmail.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Why? Everyone's doing it. Why is everyone doing it?
It's free money.
Well, yeah, and no one's the king at it yet, right?
Yeah, I guess that's true.
So they're all kind of vying for it.
I wish one of them were, just so like everyone could use it. I seriously, like, moving to Boston was the biggest downgrade because no one here has Venmo. Like, we went out to dinner for like someone's birthday recently with like 8 people and spent like a half an hour at the end of the meal for each person to go through the receipt and write down their portion on the back with their credit card number. It was ridiculous. I thought that was a solved problem, but I guess
I loved Venmo. You please don't take this out of context, but when we shared that hotel room and I had to pay you back for that, I actually really liked it, but I'd never heard of it, and I think you're right. But I think payments is similar to all the other things we've talked about, where the payments winner will be where your friends are, right? Because if your friends aren't there, you can't pay them.
Right.
And that may be a big advantage for Snapchat, and B, I think why Square would want to partner with them, right? Because Square's platform has had kind of rough adoption, and it's almost a win-win for both services.
Yeah, that's true. It does seem like Snapchat pretty much gets this for free, and like Square does all the hard stuff.
You still have to put your debit card in. Also, on the topic of Venmo, one of my friends at work pointed out to me a brilliant social hack you can do. Because if you pay someone something, you can provide a description, and then that payment will show up on the entire, like, all of their friends' things. So my friend, we went out for Thai food, and she paid me, and it says she paid me for nudes, but with 2 O's. So that's a fun thing you can do with Venmo if you want.
Yeah, I've seen people do much, much less timid.
I can see them on here.
I mean, that's kind of the fun social aspect, right?
That's true. Yep. That's true.
So, anyways, Snapchat. Last year sometime I downloaded Snapchat. I definitely had it a year ago. So I probably had it for more than a year. And I had it before that, but I tried to use it for about a year now, and I don't get it. There is never any time I have a picture I want to send to someone where I don't want them to also be able to have it forever.
That's fair. I used it. Jill and I used to use it a lot when I was still in California. But now that I'm not, we don't use it nearly as much.
Why not just use Facebook Messenger?
I don't know. In some capacity, I think it seemed easier. Because you can literally open it up, take a picture, press the button, and be done. I guess you have to select the person.
Yeah, and that's like you select the people, and it's just like a check mark, and there's no sense of a conversation. It's very difficult to follow what's going on.
Yeah, it was never like a conversation. It was always just like a one-off random thing, which I still kind of do. Like, I feel like I snap Jill, my sister, and Sean, and you sometimes. But it's never, I kind of like it because it doesn't require any, like, you don't have to respond to things. Like, and you don't feel obligated. I don't feel obligated to respond to things.
That's what Instagram is for.
Well, but think about it. So. Think about it like this, right? When you and someone else sit down for a conversation, you don't talk about one thing the entire time you're together, right? You'll be talking about one thing and change your mind and say, oh, did you see that movie? Or, oh my God, I can't believe that waiter, or whatever. It's sort of quick, random bursts, and then you move on and never go back to it, right? That's kind of a quick conversation, and I think that's what Snapchat really reflects, is this sort of one-off, quick, back and forth, we don't need to save things, just get rid of them. I feel it's actually a lot more natural than something like Facebook Messenger.
Well, yeah, it's like a real conversation, like you say something and then it's gone, except in the person's memory, in your memory. But, I mean, I see...
That sounded deep.
I I see your point.
It just sounded. It wasn't though, but it had us fooled for a second.
I tried to change the subject quickly.
All right. So, Sean, why is Snapchat a big deal? Why is it going to be huge?
I'm going to give you two. One is a joke and one is serious. I'm enjoying Snapchatting Dan and Colby during the show. This is really excellent. See, this is what we should be doing more of. The joke reason is that if you think about it, what is Snapchat really great for? Sexting. And how do you make sex better? Allow people to pay for them. Introducing paid sexts. Trademark.
The joke or the serious one?
You guess. No, that's a joke. But I could actually see that. That's because everyone just said Snapchat. Oh, it's just people sexting all the time. No, that's not true. The actual legitimate reason is, as that kind of crappy commercial they played showed, payments can be very Snapchat-like, right? Where you're quickly saying, "Hey, I'll grab that. Hey, I'll pick that up," or "Hey, can you lend me $5?" Or it tends to be a very quick type thing, right? You don't want it to be a protracted, take forever to get paid concept. And I think their implementation actually is really smart, right? It knows when you put a $sign in front of it. It automatically knows that you're transferring money. And it does it all instantly. Pulls it from one person's account to the other. And just with one click. So I think if they can truly make it as simple as they're promising it to be and as one click as they're promising it to be, and with the sort of legitimacy Square brings to it, I'm very optimistic. I mean, a lot of people said Snapchat was a fad, and it doesn't seem to be going away. So I don't see why they can't. In the same way we laughed when Facebook brought out stickers, and those don't seem to be going away. So
I guess so. I'm not sure that. So here's my thing. I think you said something before that was correct in that the successful payments app will be the one that all your friends are using. And I don't so this may not be the case for the up and coming generation, but I think in our case, as with Dan as my example, the subset of my friends that I semi-frequently might need to pay money to does not match up well with the subset of my friends that use Snapchat or that I use Snapchat with, or not well enough. There are some people I am personally friends with, like you guys, and my sister and stuff. But my friends from work who I frequently go to lunch with or go places with, I don't Snapchat with them because we're work friends. I don't know. Maybe we're not friends, and that's why they're not friends with me on Snapchat.
Says a lot.
Damn it.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think it's going to be where the people are, but I think in the same way you use Facebook Messenger, but your mom uses email, I think it's kind of that same argument, right? Different services for different people, but I think Snapchat has such a big base, and we've talked about it. No one's been able to do it, so I don't know. I like the implementation, put it that way. I think that's what they really have going for it, is it just seems really easy.
Cool.
And Dan just shakes his head.
Though.
What was that?
If I'm going to take a picture of something actually interesting. But I guess what you're saying is what you put on Snapchat is not interesting. It's just...
No, if it's interesting, you put it on Instagram.
Yeah. No, that's the thing. I would never things I Snapchat are things that are, way too dumb for the broader internet. Way too embarrassing for me to share with the broader internet. Does that make sense? It's an audience problem. This is at Facebook. We talked about the audience problem all the time, because people were friends with so many people on Facebook that their self-filter became much higher because they're sharing with all kinds of people. Whereas, as 5 years ago, they were sharing with their high school friends, and that was then they would post anything because who the fuck cares, right? So it's that I don't know, when I see something really dumb that I think is funny, and I know Sean will think is funny, I send him a Snapchat of it. Mm-hmm. But if some of us don't live the swanky New York City lifestyle that Dan does.
Oh, really?
So everything we see is not.
Yeah, I would definitely, if Dan Snapchatted every single meal he had, I would probably watch that. Actually, we have a friend who Snapchats me every single meal he ever cooked, Matt Mariani, and it's a pleasure.
How often does he cook, though?
More often than you'd think. Almost every day, I'm getting some pot of him stirring something. It always looks the same. I never know what he's cooking. I'll have to have him on and ask, but yeah, it's different audiences, right? It's that Vine versus YouTube audience. You know, you're always going to have different people for different things, but it's, I don't know. I've fallen in love with Snapchat recently. I am a convert.
So what should I do to get value out of it? What should I do differently? Should I be sending people more snaps? Should I be thinking more about what I can? Okay.
I think what it is you just have to be more aggressive about sharing your life. So that stupid thing you thought was funny, instead of just saying "ha" and then walking away, you have to go, I have to Snapchat this. You know, I'll Snapchat like a cup of coffee or like, you know, really dumb. Like today at work, we got an email reminding us not to take bribes. And it was really funny because it was like huge bold font, no bribes or gifts. And so I'm like, this is really funny. This should be, but I couldn't post that publicly because that's a work thing. But I can Snapchat that.
That's fair.
Interesting. Okay. All right. I'll keep trying. Maybe next week I'll declare a week of Snapchat.
There you go.
So begins
Snapchat
the week
challenge.
of Snapchat.
Yeah.
The Snapchat challenge.
Snapchat challenge.
I love it. That is very good.
Awesome.
Now, you don't ever, I've asked this before, I'm pretty sure the answer was that neither of you ever broadcast the snap. And then there's the My Story thing, which I also don't understand.
I've never used it.
Yeah, Stories
I've never used it or looked at anyone else's. I'm proud to say I've never looked at
Didn't you say that you did look at them and you told me that you can tap through as you're holding down.
That was
that was you.
Yes,
oh,
I like stories. I'm telling you, stories are going to be the next big thing for brands, for celebrities, for news, for entertainment.
Yeah. See, that's what I'm not looking forward to.
See,
it's when I start getting
you get the stupid.
But it's a better way.
Live thing.
No, but it's a better way to quickly tell a story, right? Because you're live editing as you're doing it. You don't shoot a 2-minute video and upload it. You're taking pictures throughout the day. You're throwing video in there. It is a really great way to tell a story. You'd be surprised. And I've done stories before.
Yeah, I mean, I believe I see why it's a good way to tell a story. I just don't want it.
You just don't want to follow McDonald's on Snapchat?
No, I don't. I just don't care what they have to say. They're like... No, I can't think of any company that I would want to follow on Snapchat.
I might have to make a Don't Panic Snapchat.
I might follow, like, the MBTA. They
pictures of trains that haven't arrived yet.
Yeah, just people looking sad on the platform. It's like pictures of me looking sad.
People looking sad on the mbta.tumblr.com.
There you go. Sold. All right, why don't we move on? Talk about another story. You guys have one in here you want to talk about, or should I pick one at random?
Colby, you're up. All right, pick one at random.
Sorry. Yeah.
I need like one of those game show, you know, and then it picks one for us. I gotta get that.
I had the Star Wars Trivial Pursuit board game that came with a little instead of dice, it came with a electronic R2D2, and you pressed on the top of it, and it made some noises, and then it had an LED in the front that showed a random number between a pseudo random number between 1 and 6.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wait, what is this? I want to talk about this PlayStation TV thing.
Okay, let's talk about the PlayStation TV thing. The fine folks behind PlayStation, the nearly bankrupt Sony Corporation, announced PlayStation Vue, a cloud-based TV service. What does that mean exactly? Well, in the age of the cord cutter, the question is, how can we get rid of our cable overlords? Well, Sony says they're going to take a stab at it. So it's called View, and it offers you an array of TV channels without a monthly contract. Now, I want to be clear. You are not getting CBS over the air with the full at 8 p.m., 9 p.m. That's not how it works. The way it works is they will have around 75 channels per market, they say, including channels owned by CBS, Fox, and NBC Universal. And you have a 3-day window to watch every single thing that was aired on those channels in that 3-day window, whether it's at 1 a.m. or 1 p.m. They have not said about price and packages. That will be revealed at launch, which they haven't said when that is. And they claim that the service won't require any extra hardware or installation charges, though you will pay for it monthly. It is an invite-only beta starting this month for PS4 and PS3, eventually rolling out to iPad, later other Sony and non-Sony devices. The beta version will launch first in New York. We'll have to see maybe if, Dan, we can get you to try this for us.
Yes.
Because you're a big PlayStation guy.
Yeah, oh my gosh. There are so many good PlayStation games coming out in the next 5 days.
You're not going to have time to watch TV.
I won't.
Are there really? What? Oh, Grand
Theft Auto 5, Far Cry 4, Dragon Age Inquisitions, Little Big Planet something, number whatever. Yeah, there are a lot. It's the big pre-Christmas push.
Have you played Call of Duty?
I have not, and I haven't bought it either. Have you played Call of Duty?
Yeah, it's alright. It's kind of fun.
Is it like every other Call of Duty?
Pretty much.
I was reading the reviews for this Call of Duty, and I didn't realize how much everyone was shitting on the old Call of Duty.
Really?
All the reviewers were like, oh, thank God that the year of that game is over now. I like how they're on a yearly release, too. Like, a game... Yeah.
I don't know, it's kind of fun. It's like, I played the single player, which I realize no one does that, but that's why I buy Call of Duty. Still the only reason I buy Call of Duty. It was okay. It's not as good as Modern Warfare 2, which was the best Call of Duty.
Yes.
But yeah, it was pretty fun. It's like there's all kinds of, you get crazy jumpy things. Like it's kind of like the multiplayer is kind of like if you took Destiny and Call of Duty and squished them together.
Interesting. I might have to try that then. Sean, I'm looking at this View thing, and it says that it has live TV. So how is this?
It has live TV. Do you think it has football? TV? I bet it doesn't have football.
I'm looking at
really all I want is football in HD.
I'm looking at here. I'll put it in the chat thing somehow. I'm looking at this the Verge article I googled, and I found this article with screenshots, and it says they have a little live tag on some of them. There's a live episode of Gotham on Fox. There's a live episode of The Big Bang Theory on CBS. Live. No, that's not live. Live, The Daily Show on Comedy Central.
So let me... Oh, here. So I probably should have just gone to the full press release because they have a lot more details. So it says PlayStation View delivers catch-up and on-demand TV, freeing viewers to... makes past 3 days of popular programming available. Yeah, it doesn't say in here. My complete... bold guess would be by live they mean when it airs at 8 is when you can start watching the on-demand version.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a total guess. As far as I can tell, it doesn't seem... My guess would be that Sony wants to do its own custom advertising and take a cut, so I would be surprised if they reran CBS's or whoever's own content.
Mm-hmm.
I will say the full list of channel... Oh, here we go. At launch... PlayStation View will offer the live linear signal from CBS Television Network's owned and operated TV stations in select leading markets in addition. However, they seem to be the only channel that is doing live.
Does that include Comedy Central? Is Comedy Central CBS owned?
It just says owned and operated TV stations. Again, this is very vague.
Yeah.
So it's not super specific what you're going to get. I'm sure it'll know more when the announcement actually happens. So there you go. Something to look forward to. We'll bring you updates as more is revealed. We'll have to see if we can get Dan into the beta.
Yeah. There's no sign up, so I just have to hope. I already checked it out because I did get into that PlayStation Now beta, and that was awesome.
Oh, nice.
It was awesome when it was free.
Yeah.
Not awesome anymore.
What's weird to me about Sony is they're in. I don't know why they're in terrible markets and awesome markets, right? Because they're killing it with the PlayStation. I think that's a fair area to say they're having success in. But they can't sell a phone in the U.S. to save their lives, right?
In fairness, they don't try either. When was the last time you saw any advertising for a Sony phone?
I don't know if that's because of a lack of effort.
What else would it be due to?
Lack of spending, which you could correlate with effort, but also I think lack of carrier interest. Why would a carrier... Sony would have to dump because carriers are selling a ton of iPhones and a ton of Nexuses and a ton of, why would Sony would have to dump so much money on their doorstep? I don't know. To me, I think Sony should dump the markets they're not doing well in and focus on the ones they are doing well in. Maybe that's just me.
I think their phones are really good, right?
They're great phones. They're excellent phones. Yeah. But
do they do well in Asia?
They do pretty well, but I don't think it's a good division for them.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have to think. I haven't picked out anything for my Christmas list yet. Maybe it should be a PlayStation. I don't know.
Ah.
Will you guys play video games with me?
I'll play Destiny with you. I don't understand why, but I'm sort of hopelessly addicted to that game.
I'll play it with you too. I'd want to start a new character.
Really?
To
play with Sean from the beginning? Yeah, I think
so. Oh, yeah.
Colby, you can play with me anytime. Why don't we move on to another story? Any particular one you guys want to talk about, or should I... Thrilling radio. Okay, YouTube this week. Are you a fan of music videos? No, it's not MTV.
No.
It's YouTube. That's right. Music videos are still a thing, and YouTube wants you to get excited about it. YouTube this week launched what they're calling YouTube Music Key. It is a monthly subscription service that allows you to watch ad-free music videos on their website that play in succession. They're now actually organized. Before, it was kind of terrible because you'd have to search, and they're now actually organized by artist and by album. The actual list of features is somewhere on here because I want to make sure I read it. It's okay. Music Key is available in the United States and 6 European countries. Yeah, that's basically all you get are ad-free, non-stop videos playing. Now, the real bonus, right, is you may be familiar with Google Play Music, which is their paid service that allows you to Spotify-style stream music and upload your own. That is included with your fee for YouTube Music Key. So you actually get both together. So in summation, for $9.99 a month, you get the ability to upload and locker your own music, a Spotify-style catalog of music you can stream on demand, and ad-free playback of music videos on YouTube through their website and mobile devices.
Did they have Taylor Swift?
I couldn't even tell you. I haven't heard any of her songs ever, so I wouldn't know.
I don't know if you caught this, but she pulled all her music from Spotify.
Yeah, I saw that.
Did you since cancel your Spotify subscription, Colby?
I didn't, but I was annoyed because I get that Spotify is not great for the artists, but like Taylor Swift is not having a problem with the monies. Let's be real. Like there are plenty of people that I listen to. I would gladly pay money to get their real money to them to get their music if they weren't on Spotify. But Taylor Swift is not one of them. I just don't feel bad.
I just bought a bunch of CDs, on Amazon. I literally just a whole stack of CDs. It was great.
Did they give them to you? They must just be trying to get them out of their warehouse at this point.
Dan, I swear to God, you laugh, but it's you can buy the digital album for $9.99. or you get the CD and the digital album for like $6.99. It's cheaper for them to mail me a CD. How can you say no?
Just want to drain that inventory.
I have a slightly related bit of news, but I ordered the new Kindle.
Ooh, which
one? The fancy one.
Ooh.
It's not shipping till December though, which I was really sad about. But I found someone to pawn off my old Kindle on, so pretty excited. Nice. I look forward to
Is that person Jill?
No, it's my sister. Jill is very opposed to electronic books.
Ah, one of those.
Yeah.
I actually just pulled out of storage I wish I had it. My original Kindle Fire, the very first one.
Oh, I remember that.
It's literally like this thick. It's huge, and it weighs a ton. I'm like, and the screen, the bezel is like this big. It's crazy. I said, wow, that was a terrible device.
So does this YouTube Music Key thing, getting back on topic, does this replace Google Music?
So there's been Google Play Music. That's existed for over a year.
And it's pretty good. Like, I don't use iTunes. I use Google Play Music to keep my music that, like, you don't have on Spotify or is unique in the cloud.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, this complements it. So you're getting more for your money.
What is this, like... You get both. So you get, like, the Google Play Music subscription thing, and you get the music videos?
Yes. Without ads, in HD, streaming, no interruptions.
Understood.
So whatever you're paying now, you will continue to pay that, and eventually, right now it's invite-only, beta, blah, 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 but eventually you will get all of it for one fee. So really, if you're an existing subscriber, it's a bonus.
That's cool.
So... yeah, I think it's great. I don't... What confuses me is I was always under the impression the people who watched a lot of music videos on YouTube did it because they were too cheap to pay for Spotify or Google Play or whatever. So I don't know who necessarily this appeals to. The YouTube side of it.
Yeah, I've never watched a music video in my entire life.
They'll just put on YouTube, like a YouTube playlist... and they'll just let the music play. It's like their radio because they won't pay.
Oh, sure, but they're not watching the music video.
No, they're not. So then why? Yeah. So then what's the advantage to this if you're also getting Google Play Music?
I don't know.
And they're not getting any ad revenue. I can't imagine the $7.99 or $9.99 a month makes up for that. Maybe it does.
Maybe like per person who's paying for it, it does.
Yeah, I think it's a big. I think the artists will like it. Because I don't think the artists like ads on their videos, and I don't...
Yeah.
I think the artists will probably be a little happier. They'll get a cut, I'm sure. But that's YouTube Music Key coming soon to an internet near you. Let us continue on. We've got more news to talk about. Any particular...
what's this Microsoft thing? Just about packaging.
Yeah, so I only put this in here so I could say I told you so. Because you may not remember. I wish I had pulled the clip. I called this. What
did you call?
This, what they did. I said they're going to do this, right? I said they're going to bundle all their subscriptions into one super subscription. Because their whole business is moving to that model. Well, Microsoft did it. This week they announced... the Microsoft Work and Play Bundle. It costs you $199 a year, but for that, you get Office 365 Home, which also includes unlimited, not 100 gigabytes or a tera, unlimited OneDrive storage. You get Xbox Live Gold for the year, Xbox Music Pass for the year, and Skype Unlimited World. Together, that's a $450 cost. You get it all for just $199.
It's, okay. I only want one of those things.
Well, okay, but if you had an Xbox, right?
Yeah.
And the Skype calls, I guess, not many. Maybe if you make a lot of international calls.
Uh-huh.
And you use Microsoft Office, don't you?
No.
Oh, come on.
I don't.
Office is great. You're missing out. Actually, it's going to be really...
Everyone at work uses Google Drive.
Dan, when will you learn that the cloud is not good? It is bad. The cloud is bad. There's storms in the clouds. Anyway, if you're a big Microsoft fan, this is a value.
Oh, sure.
But it's not for everybody. It's definitely not for you guys. I get that.
Yeah, the other thing, these unlimited cloud storage services are great if you can upload things at a reasonable speed.
Yeah.
Because if you're on a terrible connection, they're useless because it would take you so long to get any amount of data up there that you're not going to back up like your videos and stuff because they'll never finish. And on the other hand, though, even if you do have a good connection, if they don't like fill your pipe, if they don't accept all the bytes you send them, if they only accept like 1 megabit per second, then you're also screwed. Mm-hmm. So I have a feeling it's unlimited. Everyone's going to be unlimited pretty soon, and it's because they're still going to make all the money they were making before.
They're just slowing you down. You know, and I will say, I'm a OneDrive user. I picked up the Home and Student subscription a year ago, which is good for 4 years. And that now comes with the unlimited. The real problem with OneDrive is it's baked into the OS, and that is a huge pain in the ass. There is a big advantage to having it as a separate application because it's in the Microsoft file system. So you can't move the folder, it's kind of difficult to adjust what syncs and what doesn't sync. Their website's not very good. It's a real pain. So I want it to be good, but it's not. So anyway, if you're a Microsoft fan and you have a lot of their stuff, the Work and Play bundle is available now. And it's only for the holiday season, by the way.
Oh.
It's a sale.
You left that part out. This is a limited time offer.
Limited time only. Get it while it's available at your local Microsoft store. Okay, another story.
Net neutrality?
We can talk net neutrality, sure. So, the big story, last week actually, this is so big it carried into this week. That's how big of a story it is. We dumped all the other news, we kept this. Barack Obama, our United States president, he announced that he is in support of reclassifying internet service providers as Title II utilities under the FCC's rules. I am going to explain to you what that means as soon as I pull up an article that explains to me what that means. So, Title II is what covers things like landline telephones, right? And it means that when I can talk to Dan's phone and to Colby's phone, and they don't have to be, it doesn't matter what network they're on, it doesn't matter what protocol they use, it doesn't matter what company owns the lines, they always talk to each other. And it always sounds good, right? If I have AT&T and Dan has Verizon, Verizon can't charge Dan more to hear me better, right? Well, they can in a digital world, but on a traditional landline, they can't, right? It just is what it is. And it's that way by law. That's a very simplified version of that. But that's what it is. Currently, the internet is not categorized as that. It's an information delivery service or something along those lines, which is a separate classification, doesn't have those rules and requirements around it. The FCC is now kind of debating how do we deal with the internet. Barack Obama and advocates for net neutrality say you should classify it under Title II, which means that it has to be fair, has to be treated equally. Barack Obama, he had four key points to his sort of why he wants to do it. A, no blocking. If a consumer requests access to a website or service, the ISP is not permitted to block it. Although there is a small exception for copyright infringement. But they can't block it based on paying, changing money, that sort of thing. No throttling. ISP should not be able to intentionally slow down content based on the type of service or your ISP's preferences, like that Netflix Verizon issue we had a while back where they wanted Netflix to pay for faster access. Increased transparency, where the making sure the ISPs are upfront and honest about who's paying for what and who's getting special treatment, and no paid prioritization. Again, that Netflix thing. No service should be stuck in a slow lane because they didn't pay a fee. Everyone should get equally as fast access to consumers over the internet.
Yeah. Agreed. I would like to point out that Etsy recommended this, and we think that's why Barack Obama
decided. All right.
Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't know. I'm worried. I'm worried that I don't know. I feel like now that the president said this is what it should be, the Republicans have to do the opposite.
Oh, yeah, they already did.
That's the way the country works. And they've really tweeted some, I don't know, there's been some ridiculous crap.
Yeah, net neutrality is Obamacare for the internet.
Yeah, that was my favorite one.
That was
that was the one.
Texas senator and noted crazy person Ted Cruz.
That's not even trying to make an argument. That's like, this is something that people hate for people like irrationally hate. It's like, oh, that's so sad. That's how our country is run.
Yeah, it was a terrible factual statement. It was a brilliant political maneuver.
Yeah. I mean, I see why I'm sure there are people who see that and are like, "Oh, I hate net neutrality. It sucks." But I don't know. I really like this Verge article that has like various like public figures and companies' responses to this stuff. It's really pretty enlightening, especially in that companies I like or people and companies I trust and respect are like yay, and other people are like not. So I'm pretty convinced that it's the right idea.
Yeah, it's a divisive issue for sure. One of the big articles that came out after his announcement was that through a third-party lobbying group, large companies are actually in favor of net neutrality, including Ford, Visa, UPS, and Bank of America, where you have Comcast and Verizon, unsurprisingly, against it.
Shocker.
Most people made the argument that it was ISPs on one side and consumers on the other. Where do the businesses in the middle fall? Well, these are huge companies paying a lot of money to lobby the FCC in favor of Title II classification, including those that I just listed.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like it's also like, I mean, this is something that like the Googles and Netflixes and Amazons and Facebooks of the world are like all about, I would imagine. So I feel like that's good because that's some like, I don't know, because I feel like this is the kind of fight that comes down to how much money people put into it. And I would imagine that, you know, they're going to fight tooth and nail for this kind of thing because they have the most to lose, which will work out better for the rest of us, I think. So.
Oh, man. I think we got some live feedback.
Whoa.
What?
Where?
Yeah.
How?
Good friend Tristan tells us that Ted Cruz wrote an op-ed telling us, and he links it to us.
Yes.
Digging in on his statement that net neutrality is Obamacare for the internet. Yeah, I can't read this fast. Needless to say, it's probably crazy.
Yeah. This is one of those things where it's sort of like environmental regulations or like inspections of like meat processing plants, right? You would think that would kind of be a no-brainer, be like, yeah, we should definitely have that. And then somehow they end up removing inspectors and making less inspections. You're like, how does this keep happening? And I really fear that's what net neutrality is very quickly becoming, is this where it's just eroded by politics and what seems like a no-brainer issue quickly becomes a big deal. And it's ignorance, I think, is a huge part of it, right? People don't know what net neutrality is, so what you tell them it is what they believe it is. Right. So I could sit here and say, oh, well, net neutrality is just Obama coming to take more control over the freedoms that we have. First, it's the internet, and next, it's the press, and after that, it's our guns. And you know what? There are going to be people out there. You laugh. There are people out there who are legitimately going to be afraid of this. And I've met these people, and they're scary.
So, in short, says Ted Cruz, net neutrality is Obamacare for the internet. This is in his op-ed. It would put the government in charge of determining internet pricing, terms of service, and what types of products and services can be delivered, leading to fewer choices, fewer opportunities, and higher prices.
I don't think any of that is true. Can you tell me one? No, I'm serious. Is there one thing in that statement that's actually true? Barack Obama explicitly said in his statement that they cannot control prices or terms of service or any of those things.
That's nice.
Well, and I don't agree with him at all, but his point is that because you are, maybe not. No, you're right. He's just crazy.
Yeah.
I can't even come up with a devil's advocate argument for that.
Yeah, and I don't want to be, the guy who just sits here and we're tech people, so we think net neutrality is great and everyone else is an idiot. Like, I'm all for a spirited debate. Ted Cruz is not a spirited debate. He is a crazy person who shouts a lot. So that is not a good debate.
Was he the guy who, after Obama got reelected, had to take the sip from the water glass while in the middle of his speech?
No, that was Rubio.
That's right.
I will Google crazy things Ted Cruz has done. But
isn't Ted Cruz one of the Tea Party people?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
So here's another good bit from this thing. If we remember Sopa and Pippa from way back when,
I remember
Ted Cruz says, in 2012, those who cared, I think, about internet freedom were shocked as bills such as the Sopa and Pippa Acts, which would regulate speech on the internet under the guise of protecting property rights, started gaining popularity in Washington. Thankfully, online activists were quick to mobilize to protect their free speech rights. But we must remain vigilant. Intellectual property must be defended, but any threat to quell speech on the internet must be treated seriously and subsequently defeated. Yeah, the people who advocated for Sopa and Pippa being shot down are the same people who are saying we should reclassify as Title II, bro.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I don't. That's it's such a convenient spin.
This is 1984. This is doublespeak.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is how it ends.
Yeah, it makes me nervous. So every once in a while, things happen that make me start considering other places that I could live besides here.
Places that aren't here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go from one of the most American things, a spirited political debate, to another of the most American things, Doritos flavored Mountain Dew. I wanted to end on this story before we went to picks. Just because I know it's not necessarily tech, but it just feels right. So, through an image posted on Reddit, of all places, and confirmed by the Pepsi Corporation, has said that they are testing, among many flavors, a Doritos-flavored Mountain Dew soda. And I will put a picture up here on the screen of the gentleman who had an opportunity to try it. You can look at it here. It's called Dewitos. A combination of Dew and Doritos. And it is the greatest thing to happen to Doritos since the Doritos Locos Taco. The guy who tested it said, it kind of tastes like orange soda with an aftertaste of Doritos. Do you guys have any thoughts on the Doritos flavored Mountain Dew?
I mean, I wish
but I'll try it. I'll try it once.
Yeah, I won't. But it would be better if it was Doritos combined with Mountain Dew, like a protein shake.
Like a slush?
So that when you're at your LAN party, you don't need to do anything else. You just take your Mountain Dew and your Doritos in one shot.
If someone hasn't done a parody video of a sports drink commercial, but it's just WoW players just pounding down, that would be great. That would be hilarious. This is the most American thing I've ever heard, because we're taking two terrible things and we're smashing them together in a brilliant flash of corporate synergy. Remember, Pepsi owns Frito-Lay. They're the same company.
Oh.
It's brilliant. It's so brilliant. So, and it's science, right? How do you even...
Does Pepsi also own Taco Bell?
They did at one point, which is actually funny. They don't anymore, but at one point they owned the parent company of Taco Bell.
Wow.
And it's a small world. Corporations, am I right? So, no word on when that will come to stores near you, but get excited for Doritos flavored Mountain Dew. What's next? Sour cream and onion Pepsi. That might be a step too far. All right, why don't we jump ahead and do some picks? And
speaking of corporations,
yes,
my pick is a person, also known as a corporation.
In this country, yes, Dan, go for it. Let's.
Yeah, so I have flown JetBlue a couple times, not recently, except for when I went to Florida, and I did the thing. I signed up with the JetBlue app, which actually works 80% well, which is better than like the 50% that other airline apps seem to work.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. It's still not amazing, but it works. And I got the Even More Space thing, which is just like $50. And yeah, Colby let me know about this. $50, and you get like JetBlue already gives you more legroom. You get redonkulous legroom, but even better, you get sort of like the TSA pre-check sort of like treatment where you get in your own separate line and you cut everyone, which is amazing. So I got to JFK when I left at 6 o'clock, and I was sitting down eating dinner at 6:30. I already had my boarding pass on my phone, so I didn't have to go wait in line. I had just a bag, not a checked luggage thing. Went through the TSA shortcut all the way up to the front line immediately, zipped on through, sat down, and was eating at 6:30. I couldn't have been standing and doing anything for more than 15 minutes. It was great. So yeah, I'm a fan of JetBlue. It's the only positive airline experience. Positive. Like, I've had okay airline experiences that are just okay. It's the only positive airline experience I've had traveling domestically in the United States. And I know that if there are actually people listening to this episode, that someone will be like, I had a terrible experience, but don't ruin the dream for me yet. I still believe that there could be a good domestic airline.
Yeah. So I flew... So I had an interesting trip this weekend because I flew JetBlue there and US Air back.
An A/B test.
Yeah. So for JetBlue, I similarly Even More Space seat in Logan. It seems to be the case that when you have the fast lane from JetBlue, they send you through the TSA pre-check. So I didn't have to take anything out of my bag or take off my shoes.
Nice.
That was an unexpected surprise. And then we were on one of the flights that has Wi-Fi, which is free. So that was cool.
Yep, I forgot about that.
Yeah, so their Wi-Fi is free unless you want to do like data heavy things. Like they'll let you stream Netflix, but you have to like pay for it by hour if you're doing heavy stuff. But like if you just want to go on Facebook, you can go on Facebook, and it costs $0, which is really awesome. The free snacks and the Dunkin' Donuts coffee.
I didn't get Dunkin' Donuts. I didn't ask if it was. They didn't make a big deal about it being Dunkin' Donuts coffee.
Oh, really? Yeah, they did. They did.
Oh, no wonder you picked this airline.
Yeah. No, that's not really. To be honest, the reason I started flying it is just that they had direct flights from SFO to Boston, at like really convenient times for me. So that's why I started flying JetBlue. And I got all this bonus. But then, so coming back, US Air was just horrible. Like, their boarding was horrible. Like, nothing bad happened. Like, nothing bad happened, but I just didn't feel good about it. It was really uncomfortable. US Air does the thing where they have, like, priority seats, so it's kind of like build like the Even More Space seats, but really it's just seats at like desirable places in the plane. They're not like bigger than they're not more spacious than your normal seats. And they also had the regular first class with all the douchey people up front that like grill you and you can't use their bathroom and stuff. Wow. And they also don't give you food. No food on the plane that you didn't pay for with money. They gave you beverages, but not food. So that's if you're ever flying US Air, don't expect peanuts or anything. Bring a snack from the airport.
Wow. I'm flying. I have the corporate card, so I get the most reasonably priced airline, and I'm flying American tomorrow, which is the parent company of US Air. So I'm hoping it's a reasonably pleasant experience.
You have this whole mental model of like the tree of corporations and who owns who.
Dan, I have a specific set of things I'm very interested in, and like corporate history and organization is very interesting to me. You would be surprised at the lists of things I know a lot about.
I'm glad you're interested in that, because I feel like I always have an easy, like, you know, I sort of want to know this, but not enough to Google it. So let's
trust me. You can Snapchat me anytime with the questions, and I'll get right back to you. Absolutely. All right, well, JetBlue, a nice way to fly. Let's move on to Mr. Rabidoo, who's going to once again give us a very region-specific pick, but that doesn't make it any less good.
Yeah. So I don't know if like the last 3 weeks has been normal, or the first like month and a half I was here was abnormal, or if it's just been a bad 3 weeks for the Green Line, but pretty much every other day something terrible happens. And like the Green Line is broken and the train's not coming for a long time. And so the MBTA has a Twitter account where they tweet out all the delays, all the problems that are happening, and they also tweet out when normal service has resumed. So you should, if you live in Boston and that's at all relevant for you, you should check it out. Because I always forget to, I never think to like look on, I never think to proactively like check the website before I leave the house. But when I'm standing outside for 15 minutes and I haven't seen a train gone by in either direction, I start to get suspicious. Our podcast partner Tristan tweeted at me. He says it's normal. Good to know. Sigh.
I don't know who this Tristan fellow is, but he sounds very smart, and we're happy to have him. I will suck him to our face any day.
I know. Tristan used to live in Boston. So I will trust his experience in this one. But yeah, so.
And Tristan, you should tweet and I'll send you some stickers. All right.
Yeah, that's it though. It's if that is something that regularly like upsets your life, then follow the MBTA on Twitter and at least you'll know why your life is being upset.
Excellent. That is very good. Twitter.com/MBTA. And if you're interested, check your local travel agency of sorts, and I'm sure they have a Twitter account that does the same thing.
Yeah. I'm sure this is a pretty common thing.
Now for my pick, I am the self-proclaimed king of guy who wants ridiculous things no one ever wants or needs. And I figure why should today be any different? So my pick this week is Screens TV. It was announced this week. It's an Indiegogo project, which means it may never exist, but it's this idea that you have a TV, right? Probably a nice big TV, but you can only watch one thing at a time. Well, that's crazy. What if you could watch a lot of things at once? That's where Screens TV comes in. It is a hardware device you can plug up to 5 HDMI inputs into, and it jumbles them all together and shoves them up on your big screen, controllable by your smartphone or tablet. So you can take these different images, you can arrange them, mix them, you can do 2 and 2, 4 grid, you can do 5 at once. You can put a browser. You can manually mix the audio, so like someone next to you could have headphones and be watching one thing on one half the screen while you're listening over the speakers to the other. And it all happens in real time. Now, listen, I get it. This is not the most normal, acceptable thing. I
know it's right up your alley. That's why I am.
But I cannot tell you, just on Football Sunday, just to be able to have 3 games and a Twitter stream all going at once, that is well worth it. So,
how do you currently manage it?
I literally have my TV, I have Red Zone on my phone, and I have Twitter on my tablet. Why can't it all be...
What's Red Zone?
Red Zone is that great channel that shows you only the touchdowns. Have you not heard about this?
No.
I
also don't watch sports, so...
Well, Dan, I don't want to be a ball buster, but I picked Red Zone like 3 or 4 weeks ago on this very show. Wow,
I probably stopped listening when I heard it was about sports.
You're like, football, I'm out.
Yeah.
Yes, so Screens TV, it's available on their website, skreens.tv.com. It is Indiegogo. It's a little pricey, right? So if you want to pick it up on the pre-order, they're going to give you $100 off. It's still $3.99. So it's a little pricey, and it's never actually been made, so it may never work. But if you're interested, in theory, this is so awesome. And I am all about just the sheer ridiculousness of this. Because no one needs this, but... damn it, I want it. So Screens TV is my pick this week. I promise next week to have a pick you can actually use. These two gentlemen are like, oh, you need to get somewhere on a plane? Oh, you need to get somewhere on a train? We'll get you there. And I'm like, you watch 5 things at once. Good. Someone has to be the voice of reason.
And mix them differently. Not just video, though. You could, like... What's the Twitter client that's going to be running one of these windows? That's my question.
You can do a web browser. And then they also say they'll have an API where you can...
It has a built-in web browser?
Yeah, HTML5 and such. I don't know.
That thing.
Whatever. I just want to watch a lot of TV, Dan. I'm not a smart man. So that is my pick. Gosh, we have fun here, don't we? We hope out there you do as well. Thank you to all our fan for watching the show, and we certainly appreciate our website, don'tpanic.io, every Monday night when we can at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific on our website, don'tpanic.io. Don't forget, if you want some free stickers, they're adhesive. You can put them on things.
Whoa.
You can put them on your computer or on
these
your
aren't
car.
Facebook stickers. These are...
No, they're physical. They are real.
Life stickers?
They are legit.
It's analog, man.
Only the best. So, again, tweet. Just make sure you include at Don't Panic Show and don'tpanic.io as our URL. As long as you include both, I will DM you back or tweet at you or something. I'll get your address, and I'll mail you some stickers, and they're free. I'm the one who's ponying up the... I don't even know how much a stamp is these days. When was
Did you get those forever stamps a few years ago to save like your 10 cents today?
Although you laugh though, they really have like if you really did on the very first day and you bought like 1,000 of them, you might have made like $10. So don't laugh. It adds up. I'm sure some guy with a vault somewhere with just miles of just stamps. It'll be worth something someday. Very good, gentlemen. Anything else you would like to add in? Or not?
No, I don't think so.
That would be it.
I don't think Change Vote's going to happen this week.
There's a meetup I'm going to on Wednesday night, so I probably won't be back in time.
Oh, a meetup?
Yeah. That React.js Boston, man.
Oh, nice.
Represent. I'll be on an airplane, so we're definitely not doing it. So.
Okay. Perfect.
Oh, cool.
Very good. All right. Well, on behalf of Dana Colby, we thank all of you folks out there for joining us. We'll see you next week with a whole bunch of tech news. It'll be great. Join us then. But for now, good night. This show is brewed fresh weekly by the Coffee and Beer Podcast Network. Get all our shows at our website, coffeeandbeer.tv.